Bulavanaka, hello and welcome to another Drua Talk with Clarkie. Great to have your company as we reflect on another loss on the road for the swire-shipping Fijian Drua. They might have lost by 23 points in Dunedin, but it wasn't as bad as that scoreline suggests. And I'm looking forward to seeing them back in action at their fortress in Lautoka on Saturday. They play the Waratahs next up, and we'll be joined by head coach Glen shortly. And Vuate Karawalevu swings by Clarkie's corner. But first up, let's take in the highlights from Dunedin. The Drua attempting to break a run of 20 losses on the road dating back to week 1 in 2023. The Highlanders were determined to bounce back after losses in Australia.
Ethan de Groot puts his head down, lays it back beautifully. Cameron Miller looking to stretch them here. They might just do it through Nariaki. Outside on the right wing and on debut. Taniela Philemone. Hugh Renton, he'll be hard to stop. So too Umanga Jensen very close.
Flag advantage, wide offside.
Fakatava fires it away. Surely numbers for the Highlanders. And he's going to have two on debut. Taniela Philemone. Could have volley, looks away for Armstrong. Ravula, a short pass this time. Silisila. Oh, he was too slow to get out of the way there. Fabian Holland for the Fijian Drua. It's a nice strike. He's on target. So a few to play until half-time here. Cam Miller, this time the restart is tidy for Josefa Tamani, though the Highlanders win the penalty. Will he ever dab himself?
Use it.
Oh, he lays it back through the legs. Fakatava. Umanga Jensen's got a powerful fend. Umanga Jensen. I reckon he might be there. He is.
We'll clean it up, guys.
Too big, too strong. Thomas Umanga Jensen has the Highlanders third.
It's a great finish.
In the first half. Second half underway in Dunedin as Cam Miller has it for the Highlanders. Just waiting for Jamie Joseph as Fijian Drua rips straight through. Rambitu, he's going to score the try. That is magic. Isekeli Rambitu for the Highlanders. They're going to march forward. They might score and reply. Surely the ball is down. Nick Berry, though, says otherwise. He seems held up. Highlanders think they've scored.
Yeah, we'll check that.
But otherwise, that's some brilliant defence. They're going to take a look. Brett Cronin. They go to work again. Highlanders try and get over the ball. Stefan Kuravoli. Now Josefo Masi. The slice man gets the ball to his midfield partner. Now Kuravoli close. And Kuravoli scores. Isaiah Armstrong, Ravula. They'll try and stretch them again. And they might just do it. Lomani Masi putting a little kick through. Oh, that is brilliant. Outstanding. Jack Taylor
Okay, we need to see it start moving forward.
has it locked in the back, starting to creep forward here. The blue machine, someone's lost their strides. Jack Taylor though looking to stride forward and scoring us! The Taranaki product looking to play it away into the back line to Tava. Nawai puts a kick through for another Taranaki man. Now Taniula Talia! Oh, he's very close. Very, very close. And the Highlanders will have another go down this right. Sam Gilbert. He's got Ratamatabuki Neepkins with him. Oh, passes back in field and Gilbert. A classic to finish from the Highlanders. And it's Sam Gilbert.
After a fast start, the Highlanders also finished strongly to win 43-20. But for a while in the second half, it looked like the Drua would run them close. So another loss on the road, nothing new there, but they are back in Lautoka on Saturday, and we all love that. Checking all Week 9 results, and the Crusaders worked their way to the top of the table with a 7-point away win over the Hurricanes in Wellington. The Waratahs upset an out-of-sorts Chiefs 21-14 in Sydney. The Blues kept their hopes alive and ended Moana's winning run for now, taking it by 36-17 at Eden Park. The Highlanders over the Drua again, winning by 23 in Dunedin, and the Brumbies won the Aussie grudge match in Brisbane, taking down the Reds by 13 points. It's now the Crusaders on top with 28 points, one ahead of the Chiefs. The Brumbies and the Reds are on 23, Waratahs 21, and the Force are on 20. The Highlanders are leading the chasing bunch on 17. Canes and Blues are on 16, Moana 15, and the Drua are 11th on 7. In the Player of the Year voting, Adi Savia from Moana still leads away on 24 votes, 2 ahead of the Highlanders' Timothy Tavatava Nawai. Brumbies' Tom Hooper is third on 21, Carlo Tisano of the Force is on 19, and rounding out the top 5 on 16 is Damien McKenzie from the Chiefs. The Drua leading player is Elia Thanakaivata. He's on 15 in equal 6th position. You're watching Drua Talk with Clarkie. Time for our regular chat with head coach Glen Jacko Jackson. Bulla Glen, well, we've often reflected on another loss on the road, but as I mentioned earlier in the show, it wasn't as bad as the scoreline suggested. Did you take a lot of positives out of it?
Yeah, again, we probably took 60 minutes of positives. I think, again, we failed to start well. I think they scored in a minute 30, which is always tough, not only on the boys, but I think mentally when you've had a few losses and then you don't start like the way we wanted to is always very disappointing. Individuals, in terms that we put pressure onto, well, not pressure, but understanding their roles to get things right, and we sort of probably let down, and then obviously the last 5 minutes when we're chasing the game. But to get to 24-20, I thought it was a really good fight back, some outstanding rugby from the boys to get there, and then it was just again one of those ones that you look back and you think, well, so close and could have been, and then you look at the scoreboard and it actually wasn't.
Slow starts remain an issue. Is that still the result of the pressure the guys are under, especially away from home?
Possibly. As you can well imagine, we ask a lot of questions around that and trying to get things right. We train for it. So it's one of those things, I guess, a bit of a snowball effect. The more it happens, the more it gathers snow as it rolls down the hill. So it's sort of clear understanding for us that we try and highlight it, but actually work on it, and then just making sure that when we get into the game that we execute, and that's the bit we're missing at the moment.
Week 10 now. How are things looking on the injury front, and what's the prognosis for Caleb Muntz?
Yeah, Caleb was probably 50-50, maybe a little bit lower than 50-50. So, yeah, unfortunately, getting an opportunity at fullback for us to have a bit more vocals out there. So he won't be able to face the Waratahs this weekend. So that's a bit of a shame. Vuate unfortunately had to attend his grandfather's funeral, so it was sort of a bit of a loss for us because he was in line to get back there. So that's why we've picked young CK. I thought he, as a Kelly, I thought he had some great moments, which he's done all year, in terms of his special work in the backfield. So looking forward to the young man getting a shot at starting at fullback.
Jacko, give us your opinion on this week's selections.
Yeah, well, like we're in a sort of situation now where, of course, we want to show what we've got, but we're also trying a couple of little things, knowing that the players who are around not only to the end of this year, into the next year. So that's why, we've given, I thought Mes Dolakoto did really well. It took his chances, so certainly looking forward to seeing how he goes again. Masaki Volevole's certainly had a heck of a lot of minutes this week, so he's a young man that's played Test rugby, Super Rugby, Test rugby, Super Rugby. So it was just a chance to, I think, give him a little bit of a rest. So hence why we've gone with Ratu and Ice in the midfield, second row. So a new combination, both Sydney boys originally. So we're looking forward to seeing how they go. The back row was a tough selection. I think young Tuai has been awesome, but again, a young man. So hence why Motokai Murray's come back in the 7 role. and Tuandraki back at 12. I think he's been great for us this year. He had a bit of a rest the last couple of weeks, so that's where we're going. And then Taniela Rakuru is going to obviously have a go at the wing, because he's worked really hard since he's come back from his injury. So looking forward to what he can do on hopefully a dry track, but the weather is looking a bit miserable. So it's I'm sure he can cut it up on any sort of surface.
Yes, indeed. And the Waratahs, they made it 5 from 5 at home in Sydney with a gutsy win over the Chiefs last weekend. Were you impressed?
Yeah, no, they've certainly. I'm interested in their game plan. I mean, they seem to have changed from the first time we played them. They certainly played a lot more ball against the Chiefs, and found some pretty special players in the field. But I know our boys are excited after playing them over in Sydney, where it's a game we should have won, and there was certainly plenty of things off the ball that our boys are looking forward to muscling up and gutsing into it. So it's going to be good warfare and good little battle at the breakdown, because they're extremely good at that. They're a big forward pack with some world-class props. So it's certainly our boys have to front up, and I know any time of frustration that's built up in losses and during the week can easily be put out on an 80-minute performance, and that's what we're after from the boys.
Looking forward to it. And the Tahs, they scored a Drua-like try from inside their own in goal. They held on to win, so they'll come to Lautoka full of confidence, no doubt.
Yeah, they will, and it's something that, like I said, they've sort of changed what they've done. I think Dan McKellar mentioned it quite rightly. I think Mike Catt's attack sort of come in and play, and they scored a beautiful try from 100 out. So it's certainly something we need to be careful of. We'll be, as always, sort of hoping that they want to play that all the time and not slow the ball down. So we'll sort of, they got some experienced, wily old men there that know how to do that, and so it's our job again to make sure that this game is played at a high pace, and if they continue to score 100-metre tries, and they want to play that way, so it's good for us as well.
Mate, if you look back at last year's Super Point win in extra time over the Tahs in Lautoka, or is that of no benefit as they have a new coaching staff and some new players?
Yeah, no, that's we've looked at the other round, when was it, round 2 or 3 that we played them, and that's certainly what we've been looking at, and we've taken plenty of energy and momentum out of that. I think, like I said, we were in that game. It was one of those ones that were sort of sitting here, Clarkie, as you know, and we should have been 3 from 4 in the first round, and then we could have been sitting and talking differently, but we're not, and so we've got to get that motivation of where we were at in that game, and then just put it out on the paddock against on Lautoka, hopefully in front of a sunny and good crowd.
Well, I know you'll never give up hope of reaching the playoffs, but are all 4 home games must win now?
Yeah, and away. We're under no illusions where we're at, and so it's certainly a tough uphill battle for us. But that's sometimes quite good for our boys. That it's just now do or die. It was the same as last year. We had to win our last game or last 2 games, and we did that. So it's a place that we're not unfamiliar with, and it's just go out there now and release any sort of tension that we've got and just play what's in front of us.
Jacko, thanks for your time again. All the best to the Drua and Lautoka on Saturday at 2 p.m. kickoff. Go well, mate. Vanaka.
Thanks, mate. See you there. Appreciate it.
This is a crunch game for the Drua. If you can get to Lautoka on Saturday, Jacko and the boys will appreciate your support. Kick-off against the Waratahs, 2 p.m. Can the Drua make it 2 from 2 against the Tahs in Lautoka? Well, now we can hear from the Waratahs camp, and joining us is back rower Langi Gleeson. Well, Langi, congratulations on that gutsy win last week at home over the high-flying Chiefs. It came after the 2 disappointing losses in New Zealand. What sparked the form reversal?
I think we had to have a long, hard look at ourselves for the last 2 weeks, and just look at ourselves as individuals and as a collective, as a team. And I think we showed that last week. And like I said, we need to go an extra level this week.
That length of the field try is a contender for try of the year, surely. The fans will want more of it. Are you ready to deliver again?
Yeah, I believe we are, and that showed last week, especially with our backs. And the forwards just need to set a good platform for the backs, because we've got a lot of superstars in that back team.
Well, 5 from 5 at home. What is it about Allianz Stadium for the Tahs?
I think it's just the crowd that gets behind us. It really gives us a lot of energy, and for them to back us, it's really special, and we just put in a good performance for them.
Langi, just 2 more home games to come, another 4 on the road, and the Drua and Force are the only teams you'll play away that's below you on the table. So it's a tough run home, isn't it?
Yeah, it's always a tough run home. I think there's a lot of surprises in Super Rugby. A lot of teams have lost, a lot of teams have won that weren't supposed to, so we just need to play a good footy, and that starts with this week.
What about the Drua? They can't win on the road, but they are tough in Fiji conditions, as the Tahs found out last year. What did you learn from that loss in Lautoka last season?
Yeah, I just think the heat is really hard to play in, especially in Fiji, and we just need to stick to our system. Last year we got found out a lot, and we're looking to improve this year.
Mate, you're Sydney born, you have a strong Fijian heritage. What region are you connected to, and will you have any family at the game?
Yeah, I'll have a lot of family there, connected to Suva, but there'll be a lot of people there, even people that I don't know, that I think I'm related to.
Yes, you might meet some new fans, especially if you win. How do you and the guys feel about a trip to Fiji? Most teams seem to enjoy the occasion, maybe not the playing conditions.
Yeah, it's always good. It's a good holiday in Fiji, but unfortunately we're not there to sit along the beach and relax. As for the weather's always tough, whether it's rainy or it's sunny, and Fiji play well in those conditions, so it'll be a tough one, but we're up for it.
Well, you've got your second bye next week, so you could say that this week is must-win to stay in the race for a home playoff. Are you confident?
Yeah, I think I'm confident. I'm confident in the team. We just want to put our best foot forward this week to set us off for the bye. And every game's important for us, and we look forward to playing the Drua at home.
Langi, thanks so much for your time, mate. Enjoy Lautoka. I believe there are a lot of Tahs fans travelling for the match, seeing it's Easter. All the best. Banaka.
Thanks, Clarkie.
This is how Week 10 in Shop and Save Super Rugby Pacific is shaping up. One game on Friday with the Crusaders and the Blues doing battle in Christchurch. It's a Super Saturday with the Drua hosting the Tahs in Lautoka from 2 p.m. Then it's Moana Pacifica up against the Brumbies in Pukekohe. The Chiefs play the Highlanders in Hamilton. The Force host the Hurricanes in Perth. The Reds have the bye. Time to talk Super Rugby Women now, and the Rooster Chicken Fijian Drua missed out on a spot in the final, so it was the Waratahs up against the Reds at North Sydney Oval. The Tahs looking to go back-to-back. Here are some highlights.
Steady, hold.
Nil all here at North Sydney Oval.
Play away.
Bird for Mackenzie. Fredericks out here for Miller, who gets a nice little line break. They're going to Tahs. Now it's back to Fredericks. And Georgina Fredericks will fly across. Opening points for the Waratahs in this grand final.
The shift to the left-hand side. Cut-out pass from Fredericks back into House. And just the little offload to Fredericks to finish off what she started. What an opening try.
It's an all-in line-out for the Waratahs. Oh, and it won't be taken cleanly, but it's at the back with Nathan, who burrowed herself back in to the driving maul as they look to barge over. And it'll be a second try for New South Wales. Quick tap and go here from Morgan. She's going to dive over herself. She's just short.
Hands and feet.
Kapani picks and goes. Eva's over.
Under 5 minutes to go.
Reds will want to hold on here, but they've lost the line out. Cody will grab the loose ball. Now it's with Chancellor. Advantage here for the Waratahs. Here's Pohiva. She's over. Morgan. Now penalty advantage here for the Queensland Reds. It'll be paid. They're in prime position. As Morgan taps and goes, puts it down. It's a try for the Queensland Reds. Tackled by her opposite in Mins. Bit of a bobble for Mackenzie before she takes it herself. She's wrestled down to the ground by Price. Mackenzie from in front. Puts them more than a converted try ahead. Now Morgan needs to rally the troops here. The Reds still in the hunt, and a high shot from Kilasamasi. This could be trouble for the front rower.
We have foul play, which is upright. There is direct head contact. It's not a high degree of danger, so it's a yellow card.
The Waratahs looking very comfortable here. Mackenzie holds it up for Miller, who's into some space going up the middle. She'll beat Kramer, and that was an incredible play that the Waratahs so desperately needed.
Just off the left foot. Look here, Mackenzie just holding it up long enough to give enough space for Miller. Too fast, too composed. An exceptional try for the Waratahs.
Hands and feet!
Now the Blackburn International. Taufua is over, and the Reds are all revved up. Incredible from the two Waratahs players. Kilasamasi back on the field from her yellow card as Tahs looks to cut through, gets the offload there for Robinson, a prop in space, and the Waratahs get further ahead over the Queensland Reds.
Drawing in those defenders and just finding weak shoulders all over the park. Emily Robinson pops up at the right moment and gets a try in the grand final match of 2025.
On the front foot, Harvey. Mackenzie puts Fredericks into space, and that will do it. The Waratahs, another try, have all but sealed up the premiership for 2025.
Gaps opening up through the Reds' defence. Fredericks just strong onto the ball. Ball in hand, accelerates further.
Hands and feet, step up!
A pick and go at the back, it's been knocked on. And it's a sky blue victory for the New South Wales Waratahs. They are once again back-to-back Super Rugby Women's champions in 2025. Final score here at North Sydney Oval, the Waratahs 43, the Reds 21.
Ladies and gentlemen, your 2025 Smart Tech Super Rugby Women's champions, New South Wales Waratahs.
The New South Wales Waratahs women were too good once again this year, downing the Reds 43-21 in the decider. The Tahs actually lost just once, and that was to the Fijian Drua. The Waratahs now face the Kiwi champions, the Blues, in the Super Rugby Women's Championship final at North Harbour Stadium in Auckland this week. A new initiative, this one. And then we can expect to see the national squads selected for the lead-up test to the Women's Rugby World Cup in England starting in August. Fijiana will host the Australian Wallaroos in Suva on May 3. Well, it's time now to see who we've cornered this week. On Drua Talk, it's time to see who's in Clarkie's corner. Our special guest this week is Vuate Karawalevu. Nice to see you back in Fiji, Bulavanaka.
Clarkie.
Tell us about your rugby journey, because you've been Fiji, Australia, Fiji, England, Australia, back to Fiji.
Yeah, it's been a roller coaster. Growing up, I was spent 2 years in Australia. My father went there to do his studies. We were there for 2 years in Brisbane. We came back for a few months, and then we travelled to England. And then we spent 3 years in England. Started knowing the basics of playing rugby. And then we came back to Fiji, where I spent the rest of my primary school and high school days.
You had a year with the Waratahs and had a couple of games for them. But Fiji, the Drua, what brought you back?
I think just the excitement of playing at home and living a professional life back in Fiji here. And the family is just close by. Can see them anytime during the week or any time of the day, which is the most exciting part.
Yeah, and During school days, did you have a hero that you looked up to because you're a back? And gee, there've been some great flying Fijian back line players.
Yeah, there has been. I think when we went to England, and I think my biggest role model will be the late Serembeni. I think he was the reason why I fell in love with rugby. And when we were in England, we lived in his house. I just saw the luxuries of him as a rugby player, all his car, his suits, his house, and I think that's what motivated me to play rugby and to become a professional.
What about the try that you scored against the Waratahs, the big crowd at Allianz Stadium? Take us through that. That was special.
Yeah, that was really special for me. I think, especially play against my old teammates, and back in Sydney in front of a huge crowd. I think it was just a team try, and I was just finishing off what they started, and yeah, I think that was icing on the cake for me.
What about your debut for the Flying Fijians? It was against Samoa. A special day. You remember it well?
Yeah, 100%. I had it here back in Fiji in Suva, in front of my family, and yeah, it was just it was an emotional moment for me to wear that white jersey. I know not a lot of people get the chance, but I think that was a really emotional moment for me, getting to debut, especially in front of my families. So it was really emotional and special.
Tell us about coming back to Fiji and joining the Drua. It's a very good camp, great gym, great coaches, great teammates. It's pretty special for a Fijian, and the people have really embraced it, haven't they?
Yeah, it has. It's always a dream to live a professional life here in Fiji, and now we have that. And when the opportunity arose for me to come to play for the Drua, I think I didn't look back. I think I took it with both hands, and I wanted to make the move and come here to Fiji, come back home.
And the future? What are your aims?
Yeah, just so for the future, just see how this year goes, and if all goes well, just excited to see what the future holds for me, and if there's clubs in Europe or UK that's interested, then I might take the move. But the focus for now is the Drua this season, and just to take another step higher for the team.
And finally, Rugby World Cup, Australia. 2027, not that far away.
Yeah, that's the goal. That's a dream. So it's something that I'm going to be working hard for, and I hopefully get a spot in the team. And it'll be a dream come true to play in the Rugby World Cup. In 2027.
Dreams do come true for some, so keep working hard and all the very best.
Cheers, Clarkie. Thank you very much.
Vuate Karawalevu.
Naka.
Vuate has been a good addition to the Drua this year. Unfortunately, he's not available this week for family reasons, but hopefully he's got more tries in him when he returns to the team. Have a great week, everyone. I'm Greg Clark, and I'm going to leave you with a look at the Drua team for Lautoka on Saturday to take on the Tahs. Some interesting selections: Noah Canterbury or Ravu Taumanda. Vuate being rested. Hope it all works out. Bye for now. Mode!